The Krevtar pirates were deeply disappointed. They'd risked a raid on an Earth mail courier, and all they got was 17,000 paper letters. Their cutter overtook the Pony Express without a fight. Tractor locked, engines killed, the tiny ship helpless. Now they dragged it through the belt, cargo bay pried open, drawers of envelopes glinting in starlight. Captain Patricia Hill, 71, surrendered calmly, hands raised, voice unshaken.
There's no need for violence. You have my ship. The mail is yours, though I doubt it's what you expected.
In the cargo bay, pirates ripped open mailbags, claws shredding paper, finding only more paper.
Paper? All of it. Keep searching. There has to be something valuable. Open every drawer.
Then a grunt tore open a small letter, and the paper flickered with pale blue circuitry, glowing beneath the fiber.
What is that? Bring it here. That's not normal ink. I want to know what that letter says.
In the brig, Patricia watched through the force field, her expression unreadable as the blue glow reflected in the pirate's eyes.
You, the old courier. Explain this. Why does your worthless paper glow like a military data core?
I've delivered mail for 40 years, Captain. I never asked what's inside. The Postal Service doesn't read letters.
Don't play ignorant. You are the captain. You know what you carry, or you are more foolish than you look.
Before she could answer, a shout rang from the cargo bay. Another envelope had been torn, and blue light pulsed a second time.
Another one. How many glowing letters are there? Bring me every one you find.
Within minutes, 3 more envelopes were opened, each revealing identical microcircuitry woven through the paper fibers.
Open all of them. Every priority sack, every registered parcel. I want to see how deep this goes.
These aren't ordinary letters. They're carrying something. Signals, maybe. And these fools are setting them off.
The pirates fell upon the mailbags, ripping through them with new purpose, hunting for the telltale glow.
Whatever this is, it's worth more than 1,000 credit chips. Keep opening until we find the code that unlocks it.
The cargo bay had become a sorting floor. Piles of torn envelopes grew, a dozen of them now pulsing with that eerie blue light.
They all look the same. Paper and light. There has to be a pattern. Scan them for data streams.
His comms officer reported faint signal bursts after each opening, but they were scrambled. No encryption they recognized, no credit cipher.
It's like they're talking to someone else, but to whom and why use paper?
They're not letters, they're orders, and every one they've opened has been sent.
In his quarters, Vornak paced, a stack of glowing letters on his desk. He'd counted 12 so far, each one a mystery, none a profit.
Glowing paper that broadcasts to nowhere. Worthless, unless I find a buyer who understands the code.
Back in the cargo bay, the crew kept tearing open mailbags. The scattered glows now illuminated the bay like a field of cold stars. Every torn envelope triggered another burst, unseen, unheard by the pirates, but rippling outward through the ship's communication array.
Sort all of them. Lay out every glowing letter. Maybe the patterns will spell out a message I can sell.
From her cell, Patricia caught fragments of the crew's muttered confusion. The glow seemed random. No 2 letters alike, no link to addresses.
Just like the old rumors. Special deliveries that never showed on scans. I thought it was a courier's tall tale.
Down the corridor, Vornak sealed himself in the comms room and hailed a fence in the Tharsis Shadow Market.
I've got 12 pieces of Earth paper that light up like data nodes. They transmit something. What will you pay for the code?
The broker's laugh was sharp and short. Earth spy mail. That old rumor's been dead for a decade. No one's ever found proof.
Rumor or not, the paper is real. It must have military value. Find me a buyer, and you'll get your cut.
The channel closed without a deal. Vornak slammed his fist on the console, the glowing letters mocking him in the dark. Through the thin bulkhead, Patricia had heard every word. Spy mail. The phrase hit her like a physical blow.
So it's true. These letters are weapons, and I've been carrying them for years without knowing. If I say anything, I'll become a target. Better to stay quiet, watch, and hope they don't open more.
Forget the sorting. Open every last letter in the hold. Now, I want to see what this paper is hiding.
The crew tore into the remaining mailbags with reckless speed, shredding envelopes by the score. Each torn letter pulsed once, a brief blue flash, and then the comms array twitched, broadcasting another ghost signal into the void. Within an hour, hundreds of envelopes had been emptied. The air was thick with the smell of torn paper and ozone. His communications officer reported the automatic transmissions had passed 200, each one a unique encrypted burst.
So? They're just noise. Keep opening until we've emptied every sack. Maybe a buyer will find a pattern.
The crew worked faster, the glow of activated letters spreading until the cargo bay looked like a field of cold stars. The comms console displayed a new line of text. Activation complete. 287 units online. A guard's datapad near Patricia's cell mirrored the message. She read the number and closed her eyes.
287. Every one of them a weapon I didn't know I was carrying.
Across the vast sector, the first encoded orders reached their unsuspecting recipients, silent and invisible. In the grand halls of the Iridian Assembly, a human diplomat paused mid-speech, his eyes glazing over as a long dormant implant activated. He excused himself with a practiced smile, walked out, and began navigating toward a target trained 3 decades ago. On a remote, terraformed moon, a farmer stopped mid-stride in his field, the hoe falling from his calloused fingers. He turned toward the barn with mechanical precision, the codes in his head translating into precise sabotage instructions. In a colony schoolroom, a teacher locked her classroom door, her expression unreadable as the children's drawings fluttered on the walls. She walked away without a backward glance, the coordinates of a local power grid already glowing in her neural overlay. Each activation followed the same pattern, a lifetime of ordinary identity stripped away by a single encrypted command from a piece of paper. Teachers, farmers, diplomats, they were no longer people. They were mission units, and their final missions had begun. Across the sector, 287 ordinary lives simply stopped, and the pirates still had no idea. At Earth Naval Intelligence Command, automated alerts flooded Commander Elias Straker's console. 287 simultaneous one-time pad transmissions.
That's Echo Protocol. The code word signatures match the shelved operation. Confirm authentication.
The authentication was instant. Operation Echo had been activated without authorization, and all 287 units were online.
This operation was canceled months ago. Who triggered it and how? Trace the source immediately.
Technicians worked frantically, the origin signal triangulating to a Krevtar pirate vessel towing a civilian mail ship in the outer belt.
A mail ship, the Pony Express. They must have physically opened the letters, all of them.
An admiral's voice cut through the chatter. Contain the situation. Find out who's alive on that ship and assess the damage.
We can't abort the missions now. The orders are pre-encoded. Once triggered, the sleepers will execute autonomously.
First confirmation reports began appearing. Sleeper agents moving, targets being engaged, a diplomatic incident already in motion.
This was supposed to be our last resort. Now pirates have lit the fuse, and we can only watch it burn.
Straker briefed the Admiralty with a forensic analysis of the signals and the paper's unique properties. The encoding wasn't electronic, it was physical. Watermarks and grain patterns triggered only when torn.
The letters are one-time pads on organic paper. Opening the envelope completes a circuit. No way to recall.
Each order was embedded by a diode printer, invisible to mail inspection. They were designed to pass as ordinary correspondence.
We can't abort. The sleepers are executing. Our only option is to minimize diplomatic fallout.
The Admiral ordered, monitor every signal, no rescue. We need to see what unfolds.
These aren't soldiers. They're civilians who sacrificed a normal life for a mission they never knew they'd have to complete.
He pulled up files of 3 agents, diplomat, teacher, farmer, and read their biographical sketches. He marked them all as active, then closed the files. The operation was out of his hands.
What have we done to these people, and what will be left of them when it's over?
Light years away, Vornak tried to offload the mysterious paper on black channels, Every fence blocked him.
No one wants it. They're spooked by the signals. What did we stumble into?
Then the comms crackled. A priority distress call. Not from a buyer, but from their own base. Base under attack. Unknown assailants. Heavy casualties. Cords compromised.
Those letters, they must have tagged us. Every one we opened sent a signal to our enemies.
He stormed to the brig and grabbed Patricia by the collar, shoving her against the force field.
What did you carry, old woman? Who is hunting us? Tell me now.
I don't know. I am a courier, not a spy, but you opened every letter. Maybe that was the mistake.
Patricia's gaze fell on the glowing letters stacked outside the cell. Her suspicion solidified into certainty.
They triggered something, a chain reaction. And now everything connected to them is burning.
Straker's console lit up with strike confirmations. 13 pirate outposts and 4 syndicates had been hit simultaneously.
The sleepers are executing flawlessly, each strike precisely on target. No collateral outside the criminal networks.
He pulled up the Pony Express's last known vector, still docked to the pirate ship, drifting in the asteroid belt.
The courier, Patricia Hill, is still alive. She's a civilian who accidentally delivered our war. We owe her extraction.
The Admiral's response was terse, approved. Stealth only. No interference with active sleepers. A Black Ops team assembled in a hangar bay, dark armor glinting under emergency lights. Their mission: infiltrate the pirate vessel, secure the courier, and extract without alerting the sleepers. The corvette launched, its signature dampened to a whisper, slipping into the void.
Hill is just a mail carrier. If anything happens to her because of our letters...
The clock was ticking. Aboard the pirate ship, Patricia remained in the dark about the rescue. Another distress signal pierced the bridge, a second Allied hideout gone. The caller silenced by a sudden blast.
That's 5 bases in an hour. Someone is erasing us, and it's tied to that cursed mail.
Then the sensors screamed. An unknown warship, human in design, had decloaked off their starboard bow.
Human? That's a human warship. They're the ones attacking us. Bring the courier here now.
2 guards dragged Patricia onto the bridge, her hands still bound, her composure infuriatingly calm.
Your letters called that warship. You have 10 seconds to undo whatever you did before. I space your body.
I can't undo it. Each letter was a command. You opened them all and sent the orders yourself.
Vornak's face twisted from rage to horror. He had triggered his own destruction with his own greed.
Then you are useless.
He raised his plasma pistol, aiming at her chest. But then the world tilted. The warship had opened fire. The volley hurled Patricia against a bulkhead, the guard's grip breaking. As he tumbled into smoke, she scrambled to her feet, heart pounding, and ran for the corridor before anyone could stop her. The ship screamed around her. Twisted metal, flickering lights, the distant roar of decompression. A dead pirate's plasma cutter lay beside him. She scooped it up without slowing. She found the cargo bay, its floor littered with thousands of torn envelopes, many still glowing.
These letters are still armed. If another is opened, more orders will transmit. I have to burn them all.
An industrial plasma torch hung on a maintenance rack, its fuel canister full. She pulled it down, her old hands steady despite the ship's convulsions. She stared at the piles of paper, birthday cards, love notes, battlefield commands. She ignited the torch. The blue flame hissed to life, ready to burn. Vornak stumbled through the cargo bay entrance, blood streaming from a gash on his head. He froze when he saw the blue flame.
You stupid old woman. That's our only leverage. Stop, or I'll tear you apart.
Patricia didn't flinch. She directed the torch at the nearest pile of envelopes, the paper curling into fire.
These letters have already killed your clan. Every one you opened sent a kill order. I am saving whoever's left from more.
He lunged, claws outstretched, but she swung the heavy mailbag she'd snatched from the deck.
I'll crush you.
She sidestepped, bringing the torch around like a shield. The ship shuddered under another hit from the warship.
You opened Pandora's box, Captain. I am just closing it.
His 4 arms swiped at her, but she jammed the torch into a stack of letters. igniting a wall of fire between them. They stood staring at each other across the flames, the cargo bay turning to ash around them. She swung the mailbag with all her strength, the heavy canvas striking his temple with a satisfying thud. Vornak dropped, unconscious before he hit the deck, his reign of terror ended by a 71-year-old mail carrier. She turned back to the stacks of paper and swept the torch over the remaining piles until only ash remained. Satisfied, she extinguished the torch and listened to the dying groans of the pirate ship. A new sound cut through, a boarding klaxon, followed by a crisp voice. Earth Naval Forces. Stand down and identify yourself.
I am the Courier. I am unarmed.
Boots pounded on the deck plate. 6 Earth Black Ops soldiers fanned into the cargo bay, weapons trained on the unconscious pirate. One soldier stepped forward, scanning Patricia with a helmet display. Captain Hill, package secure. We're taking you home. Patricia lowered her hands, exhaustion finally catching up with her. She sat down on a scorched crate, the weight of the last 2 days pressing into her bones. Rescue had come, but she'd already fought her war. Soldiers cuffed Vornak's 4 wrists and hauled him upright. He was still unconscious, his reign finished. Patricia watched him dragged past, hollow-eyed. The monster who had held her was now just another prisoner. A medic treated her scrapes. She refused a stretcher, walking with the soldiers to the waiting corvette. The trip was silent. Patricia gazed at the stars through the viewport, a view she knew better than any room. They docked at a sterile naval station. Cold, clean corridors led to a small debriefing room. She sat, waiting. The door opened. A stern officer entered, closed it, and studied her for a long moment.
Captain Hill, I am Commander Straker, Earth Naval Intelligence. The letters you carried weren't ordinary. 0.4% contained encoded activation orders for Operation Echo.
He activated a holographic star chart. Red dots pulsed across the sector like a disease.
287 sleeper agents. And when the pirates opened those envelopes, they launched every single one. The encoding used physical paper structure. Watermarks and pulp grain triggered the circuit. Opening the envelope was the key.
He showed her a scan. A birthday card on one side, operational kill chain on the other, separated by a molecule-thin layer.
For 40 years, I sorted those letters by hand. I never suspected.
You weren't supposed to. The whole system relied on postal employees not knowing. Even most mail inspectors couldn't detect it.
He admitted the network was a relic of a colder war, meant to be canceled months ago. The pirates forced their hand.
221 of the sleepers have already completed their final missions. The rest are still active.
They gave up their lives, and I just delivered the mail.
You did more than deliver. In the cargo bay, you burned unopened letters. We estimate you prevented another 100 activations.
All those years, carrying secrets I never knew existed. And now, so many dead because a pirate got greedy.
She stared at the holographic list, each codename a life she'd unknowingly touched. The room was silent for a long time.
The pirate ring is dismantled. 4 allied syndicates dissolved. Your actions in that cargo bay saved a lot of lives, Captain Hill.
From a sealed drawer, he withdrew a small black box, its surface plain save for a naval insignia. Inside lay a small medal and a citation, both classified, both silent witnesses to an invisible war.
This commendation is secret, Captain. You'll never be able to tell anyone. But the Navy wants you to know that what you did mattered.
The sleepers gave their lives without a medal. This isn't for me. It's for them. I'll accept it. Not for me. For the ones who didn't come back.
A short ceremony was arranged. No press, no public record. An admiral shook her hand and pressed the box into her palm.
She felt the weight of the box. Heavier than the mailbag. Heavy with ghosts.
You are free to go, Captain. The Postal Service is expecting you. But if you ever need anything, you have friends in dark places.
Patricia left the station, clutching the box, its secret burning a small hole in her conscience. In a public concourse, a news hollow blared. Pirate syndicate dismantled, 4 criminal networks shattered. She paused, then walked on. She found the Pony Express in a repair hangar, hull gleaming, the scorch marks sanded away.
They repaired every scratch. But the ship feels different now. Or maybe I do.
Her fingers brushed the brass trim of the porthole, the same as always. Yet everything had changed. That night, in her bunk, she dreamed of glowing letters, fields of blue paper unrolling into silent orders. She woke in the dark, the commendation box on her nightstand, its weight a comfort and a burden.
I never wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to deliver the mail.
In the morning, she filed a flight plan, a routine run to the outer colonies, just like any other week. She prepped the cargo, signing for a fresh batch of sealed letters without a tremor in her signature.
Some of these might be just letters, or not. I'll never know, and I'll never ask.
A month later, in the cockpit of the Pony Express, Patricia received a classified transmission from Commander Straker.
Captain Hill, the final mission reports are in. All targets neutralized. But the cost was high. 94 sleepers confirmed dead.
94. So many faces never coming home. Were they willing?
Every single one. They knew the price when they were planted. They died completing their final orders.
Patricia closed her eyes, the numbers settling into her chest like a cold stone, heavy and permanent.
I'll carry their names, even though I'll never know them. Their sacrifice won't be meaningless. Thank you, Commander. I'll make sure their last deliveries weren't in vain.
Straker's image faded. She sat alone, the hum of the ship her only company, and the weight of 94 souls.
They trusted me with their last messages. The least I can do is deliver every one until my own last run.
She keyed in the next set of coordinates. The stars ahead were steady, her hands on the controls even steadier. The first offer came from Fleet Admiralty, a promotion to Sector Postal Command. She declined politely.
I am honored, truly, but I am a courier, not a commander. My place is in the cockpit.
A second offer arrived, this time a directorship over the entire outer postal network. She smiled and refused.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, but my route isn't finished. The mail doesn't deliver itself.
The third offer came directly from an admiral, a desk flag, a title, and a pension. She stood her ground.
Sir, I have a route to finish. The mail doesn't deliver itself.
The admiral stared for a long moment, then slid a different document across the desk, a 10-year contract extension.
Now that's an offer I'll accept.
She signed without hesitation, the pen scratching her name, Patricia Hill, Captain, United Earth Postal Service. She walked out of the office, back to her ship, back to the stars. The mail was waiting. 10 years later, the Pony Express flew the same routes, its hull now flecked with micrometeor pits and age. At 81, Patricia still piloted with steady hands, her silvered hair now fully white, but her eyes just as keen. During a routine stop, she checked the mail slot and found a single hand-addressed envelope to the courier who changed everything. She opened it carefully. The paper was ordinary, but the words were heavy with a decade of silence. I was one of the sleepers. I survived. You delivered the orders that ended a war. I never knew your name, but the universe is safer because you were a courier. Her hands trembled slightly, not with age, but with the weight of a thank you she had never expected. When she finished, she folded the letter and placed it next to the classified commendation box, her private archive of an invisible war.
So one of them made it. That's all the reward I'll ever need.
She returned to the cockpit, touched the controls, and guided the Pony Express toward the next star. The mail was waiting, as it always had, and as it always would. In the cockpit, Patricia charted a course toward Aldrin Colony, her routine unchanged for decades. A small monitor on her console displayed the cargo bay, a single drawer left ajar. Inside, one envelope glowed with a faint, familiar blue light, awaiting delivery. Once, that glow meant fear. Now, it meant continuity, an ordinary thing, entrusted to her.
I know what you are now, and I am still your courier.
The ship's engines hummed, steady as her heartbeat, decades of trust shared between them. She activated the FTL drive. The stars stretched into lines, and the ship slid into the void. From a distance, the mail ship was a speck of fading light, a soft arc against the nebula, and somewhere, in that speck, an old woman carried paper and secrets, just as she always had. The mail was waiting, and so was she.